Like all Stranger Things finales, Season 4 Episode 9 The Piggyback is a cathartic, action-packed spectacle. Unlike the other season's conclusions, however, this finale leaves some questions up in the air. In this video, we quickly run you down with the season and explain it briefly. And beware of spoilers. With that said, let's begin. Before we get into the meat of Season 4's ending, it's worth addressing a mystery that the show gets out of the way in Episode 8. We know that Will has been working on a painting that he wants to show his buddy Mike. It's also quite clear that Will is struggling with the reality that he is gay and has a crush on his best friend. So one would assume that the painting and the revelation of Will's crush would be related. It turns out that they only kind of are. Will finally shows Mike his painting early on in Episode 8. However, beneath the tableau is a pretty clear subtext. Will carefully points out that Mike's character is the guy with a heart sigil on his shield, because Mike is the heart of their group. He then goes on to assure Mike that Eleven still cares for him despite their youthful inability to communicate their feelings. Will is obviously referring to his own situation and hoping Mike will pick up on it. Mike, beautiful dumbass that he is, has no idea what's going on. Will's mythical painting has now been revealed, but the conversation about his crush will have to wait for Season 5. Wagners Plan. New Stranger Things' big bad Vecna was the subject of many theories in the 4 weeks separating Season 4's first and second volumes. One thing that no one could quite figure out, though, was what Vecna's whole plan was. Based on his monologue to Eleven at the end of Episode 7, it seems as though he was interested in just the usual general evil things. Now, thanks to another conversation between numbers 1 and 11 in Episode 9, we have a better idea of what he's after. Vecna's goal is still the generic unleash general evil upon an unsuspecting world thing, but the method he's using to go about doing so is very deliberate. Some fans were confused as to how Vecna planned to dominate the real world, operating at a snail's pace of killing 3 people within a decade or so. As it turns out, he only needs to kill 4. If you remember, every time Vecna kills someone, it opens up a gate between the Upside Down and Hawkins. Dr. Martin Brenner notes that the metaphorical wall between the Upside Down and Right Side Up operates like a dam. A couple of cracks wouldn't hurt you, but enough cracks placed in strategic positions could be catastrophic. Vecna knows that the correct number of gates is 4. He only has to kill 4 people to devastate the barrier separating realities, and that's why his clock always chimes 4 times. The Piggyback. Like all Stranger Things finales, our central heroes have a plan to take down Vecna. Max puts herself in an unconscious trance as a bait to distract Vecna so that the others can kill him. But as you can guess, it doesn't go according to plan. While distracting the demon bats from the action, Eddie tragically dies. Meanwhile, Max's Vecna nightmare isn't going so well, requiring her to get an assist from Eleven. Thankfully, Eleven puts herself in the void hundreds of miles away and piggybacks off Max's experiences, hence the title of the episode. This allows Eleven to essentially join in the mental battle of Vecna, giving others more time to complete the mission. Vecna defeated. Eleven doesn't do too well in her mind battle against Vecna. Perhaps it's because Vecna as number 1 is simply stronger than 11, or that he's just more familiar with both the Upside Down and other people's brains. In any case, Vecna comes very close to defeating 11. The only thing that saves 11's skin is Mike's desperate yelling at her unconscious form that he loves her. That gives her just enough psychic strength to blast Vecna away from Max before he can fully complete his dark ritual. Meanwhile, over at the Upside Down Hawkins, Steve, Robin, and Nancy toss some Molotov cocktails at the weakened Vecna, taking him fully out of Max's mind. Though the fire is devastating to Vecna, it does not fully defeat him. We don't really see it happen, but he apparently slicks off into the outskirts of the Upside Down to lick his wounds and recover. Near episode's end, Will, who has a privileged connection into Vecna's mind via his previous Mind Flayer experience, reveals that he is sure Vecna is still out there. What happens to Max? Stranger Things Season 4's biggest lingering question is undoubtedly the fate of Max Mayfield. To put things bluntly, Max dies in the final episode, and she dies horribly. The show absolutely does not shy away from damning her with the same Vecna-induced fate that Chrissy, Fred, and Patrick got. Her limbs are brutally broken, her eyes are whited out, and blood begins to ooze down her face like tears. The only aspect of Vecna's kill ritual that he's interrupted from completing is the total destruction of Max's eyes and the crushing of her skull. Still, Vecna's violence goes far enough to kill Max and open the 4th and final gate. Max's biological death is confirmed by doctors in the Hawkins hospital later when Lucas repeats the report that her heart stopped for a full minute. And yet, Max is somehow still alive, albeit barely. While still occupying Max's mind, 11 uses some of her psychic powers to urge her to stay alive. We're unsure how, but that apparently does the trick. Max's body remains biologically alive, though her consciousness is lost deep in a coma. Here's the thing about Max's consciousness though. When 11 visits her at the hospital and hops back into Max's brain, her essence, consciousness, personality, whatever you want to call it, is nowhere to be found. Max's brain is empty as her body is broken. Surely the real Max is out there somewhere. Stranger Things isn't dark enough to give one of its child characters the Dementor's kiss. But where could she be? We suspect she's off somewhere in the Upside Down or a realm we have yet to see, trying to find a weapon to take down Vecna for good. What happens to Hawkins? By killing Max, Vecna is able to open up the fourth gate necessary to fracture the barrier between the Upside Down and Hawkins. The ensuing effect is immediate and violent, killing at least 22 Hawkins citizens and displacing countless more. The story on the ground is that the town was struck by a freak 7.6 magnitude earthquake. But how much longer can the citizens of Hawkins swallow natural explanations for clearly supernatural events? Based on the final scene of Season 4, even the most rational of Hawkins residents may not have a choice in the matter much longer. You could explain an interdimensional dam breaking away as an earthquake, but what's the rational explanation for swirling black clouds brimming with red lightning that turn the environment under them into pure decay? Yes, the earthquake was only the beginning. The Upside Down proper has come to Hawkins now, and its influence is only expanding. Season 5 definitely looks interesting and is sure to bring surprises and more entertainment. Well, that's all for today's video. Hope you enjoyed this one. Thanks for watching.